I want to really talk directly to all Ohioans. First of all, to say thank you. Thank you for what you have been doing. Thank you for the sacrifices that you've been making. You're making financial sacrifices. You're making personal sacrifices. Your life has changed. You're making family sacrifices. You're not getting to see kids, grandkids. Fran and I have the same experience. We cannot see our grandkids now. I told you we do walk over to our daughter Alice's house and with her 4 children, and we get back a ways, and we do talk at a distance with them, and then sometimes just go and look in the window and wave to them. But this is different, and it's not particularly easy for anyone. I know many of you are now unemployed. I know many of you who run small businesses are worried about that small business. Are you going to be able to get it started back up? And I fully understand that. But we have to stay in this. We cannot let what we've accomplished, and we have accomplished a lot. We are in a decent position, a lot better than we would have been. What you have done is saved a number of lives, but we are still in this. This is not over with yet. We don't know when we're going to hit the peak. Dr. Acton has consistently advised me that somewhere between April 15th and May 15th. She can talk a little bit about that, what specific date it is that she thinks, but again, this changes based upon the information that we have, based upon what experts as they model this. But we know that the peak is coming. We know that the surge is coming. And so what you have been doing is saving lives, but what you have been doing also is protecting the first responders, protecting our hospital personnel, our doctors, our nurses, everyone who is caring and will be caring in the future for someone who has the coronavirus. We've all seen what I would describe as the horror stories on TV every night coming out of New York. We've seen it coming out of Italy. We've seen it from other places as well. And so what you're doing is buying time for our healthcare system to get the equipment it needs, to build out the hospital space, and to do the things necessary so that we are not overrun and that we don't see what we're seeing on TV, which is hospital personnel who are just in a horrible, horrible, horrible situation. We still don't know if we can avoid that, candidly. We have a group of people from the private sector, the public sector, that are working every single day, and we've talked about this, to find the equipment, to find the N95 masks, to find the ventilators. We have people in the manufacturing sector who are trying to get up to speed quickly so that they can make component parts of some of these things or make the ventilators. So all of this is going on as we continue this. Dr. Acton, again, tells me we're looking at a range of dates before we even hit the peak. And that's just the peak. So it's clear, and I think we've been signaling to everyone, that we're not going to be able to go back to normal. And if that peak does not come for another month, which is certainly very possible, we will continue to have to stay at home. We're going to continue to have to do what we have to do. We've had, and you'll hear in the numbers from Dr. Acton, 81 of our fellow Ohioans have died. The number may be higher. There may be people who died, and frankly, we did not know it was from coronavirus. But the number has jumped from 65 it was yesterday, it's now 81. We're going to continue to see these numbers go up, no matter what we do. But we can keep the numbers down, and we can continue to save lives. Over 2,900 of our fellow Ohioans we know now have, in fact, been infected. And again, the dangerous thing, one of the more dangerous things about this is people can become infected, they can be spreaders, and don't show yet the symptoms. We are in a race. What we do each day impacts our defenders. Our defenders are the people in the front line, the nurses, the doctors, hospital personnel, people who work in nursing homes. These are the people who are really the heroes. And in the weeks ahead, we're going to see them do what they have to do. And we're just very, very, very grateful. So today, again, this is nothing any of us wants to see, but Dr. Acton will be issuing an additional order. This order, the current order that we're operating under, I believe expires Monday night, midnight. This new order will kick in right then, so it will kick in Monday night. This is a stay-at-home order, essential business order, and it will extend till May 1st. This coincides with what we have done in regard to our schools. Basically, the same theory. We're pretty sure there's no way we're going to be out of this by then. And I just say, if there's some reason we do get out of it and we have the ability to let up, then we certainly can do that. We can put a new order on. But this is our best estimate that things are certainly not going to be ready to go prior to May 1st. The order we put out is very similar to the current order. I want to red flag or flag for everyone a few of the changes. And the changes have come about, frankly, because of what we've heard from mayors, from county commissioners, from local officials, from police, from sheriffs, but also from you, from private citizens. And we've tried to make the order more fair. We've also tried to fill the gaps, frankly, where we're seeing hot spots in the sense that we're seeing a lot of activity, people coming together in spite of the order. We've tried to deal with that in this new order. So let me go through, and this will all be online, but let me go through some of the changes or some of the additions that you will see in this order. Again, this does not go into effect until Monday night. We've created a dispute resolution panel. This will be in cases where very similar businesses are being treated differently in different counties or under different health districts, 113 health departments in the state of Ohio. So if we have a business that is similar to another business and one county treats it one way, another county treats it another, we have created a dispute resolution group, a panel, Sherry Maxfield from Commerce, Lydia Mihalik, DSA, and Sam Randazzo, the PUCO. These people will judge it, take a look at it, and we'll make a decision. One of the complaints that we constantly hear about every single day is overcrowding in stores. And again, the rules about crowding apply in stores as they do every place else. And we have to go back to what's the underlying, what are we trying to do? We're trying to keep people apart, and we're trying to keep this from spreading. And so the new order requires retail businesses to establish a number of people that should be in that business at one time. We're not telling them what number to set, but because every business is configured differently, the aisles are different, the total square feet is certainly different. But we want each of these businesses to set a number, post the number, everybody in the store knows the number, and then if they fill up to that number, then they stop people from coming in. And I know businesses, there's some retail establishments already doing this. They let people in when they think it is safe enough and it does not shove people together. Again, we want people to be able to buy their groceries, we want them to be able to go to the hardware and do these things, but we also need for them to be safe, and we also need for that to be that safe environment. The other thing we talk about here is entering the store itself. Again, many companies, many businesses are already establishing a 6-foot strip where they just put tape and keep people that far apart. Again, that is one way to do it, as people are actually queuing up or lining up to go into an establishment. People traveling to Ohio. Anyone who is traveling to Ohio, coming into our state, we ask them to quarantine for 14 days. Stay home wherever they're going. If they're coming back here and they've been out of state. Now, we obviously make it exceptions if someone is working along the border, if someone lives in Cincinnati and they're working in northern Kentucky, or someone is in northwest Ohio and they're going into Fort Wayne to work. They are certainly not covered. But we're talking about people who are coming in from out of state, who have been out of state and coming in. Again, this is for their safety. It's for everyone's safety. We've received a lot of questions about weddings. Look, we are not going to regulate weddings. We're not going to regulate funerals. We just leave it up to people's good judgment. And what I have seen, people are using good judgment. The one complaint we've had is that there are some people who are going ahead and having the full-blown reception. So we're not going to in any way interfere with the wedding itself, but the reception has to follow the same rules, not more than 10 people coming together. And just because it's associated with a wedding does not mean it's accepted out from that requirement. We're into a different time of year. Campgrounds are closed. There's a few exceptions, but basically closed. Our swimming pools are closed unless it's a single-family residence, and it's their own pool right there. Day camps, residential camps, obviously, will be closed. We had a question about garden centers. Garden centers are not closed. Garden centers will follow the same rules as any other retail business. Organized sports, again, adult organized sports, youth organized sports, those are going to be, are in fact prohibited. Again, it goes back to people coming together. We've just got to keep the separation. We've received questions about fishing. People can fish. Most fishermen don't want to get close to somebody else. I've fished all my life, and people, I think, generally try to stay away from other people when they're fishing. But there again, they would be subject to the same rules. Stay far apart. I talked to Mary Mertz, who heads up the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, last night. The parks are open. We are not closing state parks. But if the director feels and her people feel that we have a state park that has too many people in it, or that we have a state park that is configured in such a way with the trails that what they're seeing out there is people are coming in contact with each other or getting very close to each other and they really can't be separated, then the director certainly has the option to take whatever action she needs to take in regard to that. We all need to get out. We all want places to go, so we don't want to close our state parks. But again, she always has the right, as she always has, to take whatever action she needs. And in this case, to take whatever action is needed to enforce the director's order about that. Let me again thank everybody who's enforcing this order. Look, this is not easy. I understand if you're a sheriff's deputy or if you're police, if you're mayor, nobody wants to harass their fellow citizens. And I think that what I have seen from law enforcement, what I've seen from local health departments is they're trying their best. They're trying to deal with if there's a hot spot where there's a problem. They try to tell people, you can't do this. If there's a business that should not be open, they're dealing with that. But these are difficult jobs for them, and I just thank you all for doing that. And again, to all of you, I thank you for what you're doing. We are in this together. This is not easy for any of us. Certainly not easy for people of Ohio dealing with this every single day, particularly the people who've lost a job, particularly the people who have a small business and are worried about that small business. But the action we're taking today is action that I know will save lives. We look forward to the day when we can be back open and enjoy the great outdoors and enjoy our life and go see our friends again and go see our family again.